see you all here today. Do we have anyone here for the first time? Cindy, have you been here before?
I came to the concert.
You were here. Okay, well, you're in a...
service.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
It's good to have you here. Dan, maybe she'd like a little gift bag. Anyways, just a little information about the church and Unity. Dan will give you one of those. And anyone else? I don't think so. We're all old friends in the house. Good to have you here. Beautiful day out there. Haven't we been blessed with this weather? It's just, the heat is gone. It's just been lovely. So I'm grateful for that. Let's see. Many thanks to all of you joining us online, too. Good to have you with us. I always like to start just with a couple of announcements, let you know what's coming up in case there's something you want to take advantage of. Next Sunday, August 2nd, Lisa Ferraro is paying us a visit. I know many of you know her. She's going to do the message. Her title is The Art of Remembrance, Removing the Veils of Duality. And of course she will sing because she's a really, really talented vocalist, really widely known as that. And she's also very focused on meditation practice. So she's going to do a meditation workshop after the service, after a little refreshment time after the service, on the art of remembrance. And it's about meditation. Here's a little blurb from a description of the workshop. In this workshop, participants are invited to practice the presence, release energies and ideas which have served their usefulness, awaken joy, and welcome bliss. This workshop's on a donation basis, like all our workshops and classes. And I think that's it for upcoming things right now I wanted to mention. So we'll begin to relax and just take a breath and let ourselves be fully present here. And we will go into prayer. And we'll go into prayer with a very familiar chant that I hope you'll join us on, Karen Drucker's I Send My Love. Remember, you can always send in prayer requests at any time, people listening in online as well. You just go to our website, unitydelawareohio.org, and click on prayer request. Okay, so as soon as you catch on, I hope you'll join us. Very simple chant. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy, I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace, I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love, I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Oh, it returns, and it returns to me. It does return, and it returns to me. Let's close our eyes and allow ourselves to become even more centered and peaceful and alert to that presence and power of God that abides with us always, that breathes through us, that lives through us. that steadies and strengthens us by day and by night. We are wide open to that influence, to that guidance, and to that comfort. We give thanks and prayer this morning for all the blessings in our lives, for the guidance that comes to us, for the sweetness in our relations with one another, in our communities, in our daily lives, in nature. How blessed we are, moment by moment, and we are widely awake to and alert to those blessings, taking in that sweetness, letting it nurture us and comfort us. We affirm that truth for everyone in our sanctuary this morning and everyone afar and all living beings across the globe. For all living beings, there is this sweetness of life that sustains us, and we are grateful for it. And so it is. Amen. All right. Well, we're doing some. This is an old tune. We've done this for many years by kind of a Unity songwriter by the name of Greg Tamblyn. Anyone remember Greg Tamblyn? Yeah. He visited Unity on Maze Road a couple of times, and this is a song of his we learned a long time ago that we thought. It's called "Love Will Come Around."
Ain't you built that wall high enough by now? Something that might fall down can hurt you when it comes down. Oh, it won't ease your pain-filled heart, building a wall to keep you apart. Give a little love when there's no love to be found. When you give a little of your heart away, love will come around.
People everywhere need a helping hand. Show them that you care, and there's no wall that can stand.
I know it's hard when you don't feel good, but that is the time that you really could. Give a little love when there's no love to be found. When you give a little of your heart away, love will come around. Love is the only thing I found. When you give it away, it keeps coming back around and around and around. Give a little love when there's no love to be found. When you give a little of your heart away, love will come around. Love will come around. Love will come around. Love will come around and around and around and
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. All right. We're glad to have Mike Hale here to doing the tech stuff for us, so Joe doesn't have to wear that hat too, which is nice. Thank you, Mike. My title is Look for the Sweetness. I just was kind of triggered by a couple of things, which I'll share with you as I go along here. But I was trying to think of a joke somewhat to do with sweetness or kindness. And I came up with this little story about a guy. He's kind of an older man, and he's going through the line at McDonald's, and he's taking a little too much time apparently for the woman behind him as he's placing his order at the first window. And she starts gesticulating in various ways and honked her horn, and he thought, oh boy, well, I guess, and he thought, well, maybe I'll try to take the high road here. I'll try to be kind. And so he paid for her order too, whatever she ordered. Then he went on, and she gets up there, and she looks really embarrassed, to be told her order was paid for. But then he gets up to the next window, and he decides to just, I guess he has a change of heart, he decides to take both orders, so he paid for them. So he took both orders and moved off, and he saw her gesticulating again behind, and he said, well, that'll teach her today, you don't mess with old people. I thought that was kind of cute. Kindness run amok a little bit there, kind of failed, but kindness is a kind of sweetness. I've just been thinking about sweetness this weekend. The word sweet and what it means has many meanings. It's a sugary taste we like, but we also use it to describe a person, sweet person, even situations or qualities. When something happens to us, we might say that's sweet. Sweet that that happened. And I started thinking, sweetness is really a necessity of life for all of us, all living beings, really. Sugar is the primary source of sweetness for humans, but there are other varieties of sweetness in the living world around us. Hummingbirds, they need nectar. They need our sugar water feeders to energize them. That's not their whole nourishment. They go find insects and stuff, but they need that sugar water nectar to keep going, to energize them, and to fuel their ability to migrate and so on. There are bees that create honey, which is very healing for us. It kind of bolsters our immune system, as Ralph Leesburg shared in his song at the concert last week about local honey. It needs to be local, that honey, but it's very nourishing. Sugars are found in the tissues of pretty much all plants and trees. They create sugar through photosynthesis, from the light they receive, and it turns into sugars that nourish them. Veggies and fruits are abundant sources of natural sugar, of course. Wildlife need and depend on sweetness, on sugar sources. White-tailed deer, they love particularly sugar beets, which have big underground bulbs, and they'll dig those up wherever they can find them. And that nourishes them tremendously, gives them really critical energy in the rough, cold months. The deer love apple trees. We used to have a couple apple trees, and they would come back year after year. They never forgot about those apple trees. Honeysuckle shrubs, wild grapevines, all of those are really loved by wildlife. They provide important nourishment and sweetness. I really think it's all creatures, all living beings love sweetness. Our poodle Trisket loves a dollop of whipped cream. If he hears that can, there he is. It was true of our golden retrievers as well. And most of the ice cream stores now offer something like what they call a pup cup. If any of you have dogs, you know this. They'll have a little dollop of usually vanilla, maybe a little whipped cream, and a tiny little milk bone on the top. That's their milk. And they love it. They love it. Dogs have sweet. And we love sweetness, physically of all kinds. Regard our fellowship table after service, right? We love sweetness, all kinds of great stuff. Cookies, watermelon, homegrown tomatoes right now. We had our first sweet corn last night of the season. Have y'all had your corn yet? It's such a delight of summer, isn't it? Lots of sweet things. And we all scream for ice cream, right? Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. That's a gotta have it. So kind of definitely a physical requirement, sweetness in a way. But spiritually, we need sweetness too. And that's what I began to think about. It needs to be part of our kind of spiritual ecosystem too, just like the apple trees and the sweet corn and the sugar beets and everything else out there. We need to find the sweetness. We need that nourishment day by day in our lives, in our communities. And it's nourishment we need to soak up sweetness and sometimes humor, and delight. I caught a news story this past week I thought was just sort of fun about an unusual raccoon that a woman kind of spotted in her suburban community in the Seattle area. And she didn't know what it was at first. It looked like maybe a big cat or something, it looked kind of roundish. And it seemed fine, but just the oddest looking creature she'd ever seen, so she took a little video of it. And it kind of got shared pretty widely, locally at least. The wildlife people said it was a raccoon with something they call short spine syndrome. It's a congenital defect, born with, very rare. Made him look kind of funny. And she just was delighted by it. She named him Jiminy. And pictures of it showed up in the paper. Anybody see Jiminy in the papers? Yeah, kind of. She said she was just really enjoyed seeing him and sharing that with others, and everyone was kind of getting a charge out of it. She said she thought everybody just really needed a little sweetness right now. And I thought, well, yeah, we do. Some humor, some delight, some sweetness. We need to be on a lookout for it. I'm often on the lookout for it when I look at the news, aren't you? Looking for some good stuff in there, some sweet stuff. We need that nourishment. It can't be all bad news. So we have to have our eyes open for it, whatever situation we're in, I think. So I had got some guidance from a recent dream. I thought I'd share with you, kind of quirky. I did some dream work years ago with I was like in college with a psychologist who was a Jungian, and I don't know whether any of you know Carl Jung, very, very into dream work, and did a lot of work on the symbolism of dreams, and it really enriched me in a lot of different ways. So, and I kind of enjoy it. So anyway, I had this. I've gotten a lot of guidance from dreams over the years. Perhaps some of you do as well. Ideas that will just sort of pop, or some image or symbolism that will come to you. So in this quirky little dream, I was on a road trip with a couple of friends. My old friend Jack Widener was driving. He'd be probably surprised at that now. But a person in the passenger seat got out. I was in the back seat, and I said, well, I think, why don't you pull over and we'll get something, a snack, and I'll get in the front seat so we can talk better. So I go into this sort of gas station / convenience store, kind of like the Speedway up the way here, kind of, there are a lot of those around. Went in, was looking at the shelves, looking for something, and this nice woman came up. I don't think she wasn't an employee, but she was just helping, and she came up. She said, well, what are you looking for? And I said, well, some kind of bread, maybe. There must be sweetness in it. And so she points to an upper shelf, and she said, there's one up there. It says, golden bread with like a sweet cream filling. And she looked pleased, and I looked pleased, and I was thinking about how I loved these one in the past. And she said it was Twinkies. Golden bread, with a sweet cream filling. I said, oh yeah, I loved those when I was a kid. And that was pretty much the dream. Yeah, the thing was, the woman who came up to me, I recognized. It was a writer, an author, a social activist by the name of Joanna Macy. I don't know whether any of you read her work. But she was a wisdom teacher for me in a number of ways, and there she was, reintroducing me to Twinkies again. And I thought, well, that's interesting. So I pondered that. Joe brought, is it just a prop? He wanted to show you. We bought them on the way here this morning.
It even says golden.
It says golden right on it. So how about that? So anyway, I thought, I don't know, perhaps a reminder for me, maybe for others of us, that on this road trip of our lives, this life journey we're on, we need to remember to nourish ourselves with some sweetness and delight, to not keep it all work, to not keep it all facing challenges and striving and achieving, but soaking up the sweetness. Maybe that too is the bread of life, is nourishment we really need. Jesus shared a lot of teachings about sweetness, I think, especially in terms of human kindness. The Good Samaritan lavished sweetness on the man who fell by the road, was injured, and other distinguished types, learned types had walked by, and he, the Good Samaritan, rushed to the rescue with sweetness and care and comfort, very sweet. Jesus said, whoever gives you even a cup of water to drink in my name, in my spirit of love, will not lose their reward. There will be a reward in just giving a thirsty person a cup of water. That's sweet. That's sweetness. And I think we know this from our experience, all of us, that even the smallest sweetnesses, all the smallest acts of loving kindness can have tremendous impact on others. In my life, I know that particularly from doing a lot of memorials over the years, probably 40 to 50 memorials in the last 25 years. And you hear stories that go back decades of some little kindness that that person experienced, and they want to share it. In Unity Memorials, we have a tradition of opening it up for sharing with tributes of gratitude or special memories. And I remember my very first memorial was for a lovely woman by the name of Anna Marie Davis from the Unity of Columbus. I know some of you who go back that way might remember her. She was just a lovely person. And she would do these foot washing rituals and things like that to inspire people. And attending that memorial, we were packed into the chapel area there. So many people had to come. People feel a nudge to go to a memorial. They know, I've got to say a thank you. I've got to share this memory. And a woman there said she had gone through a tough time some years before, a real kind of an identity change for herself, and she changed her name. And she was very frustrated that people didn't honor that. They wouldn't call her that, and they didn't respect what she had been going through and how she'd been changing. And she said, Anna Marie said, it's hard becoming a new person. It's hard. But she said, it's like being reborn. Others may not understand that, but you keep being you. It meant a lot to her at that time, a lot. There's another one, memorial I was remembering, a woman who, a memorial for a very talented jazz singer, musician by the name of Michelle Horsfield Carney. Jazz community, she and her husband Gary, who played trombone, were very well known in that community for many years. And one of her students, Michelle taught, she performed in jazz, but she also taught music, especially vocal, out of her house. And people would come to her house, and a woman in a tough spot, she said, went to Michelle for the first time, and Michelle gave her a warm hug, as did her husband. She said, I really needed that hug at that time. I really needed it. She remembered that 50 years later. 50 years later, a hug remembered and treasured. It's such an important thing, to share the sweetness we can, to receive it, to be on the alert for it, whatever it is we're facing on this road trip of our lives. I love that when there's a wonderful law of compensation, that when we offer sweetness, it comes right back to us. It's very reciprocal. Mark Twain has a lovely quote about that. He says, it's one of the beautiful compensations of life that no one can sincerely try to help another without helping himself. You can't. They're absolutely intertwined. Even a little thing, like a hug, you have no idea the impact of that, and you're going to feel, but you're going to feel it coming back to you. You feel good yourself. I've shared stories before. Steve Hartman, the reporter, journalist who travels around, he does these on the road short episodes, and they're all stories, and many of them are about sweetnesses. Many of them are about kindness, about gestures of kindness and the impact of that. So I caught this story recently, and I thought, oh, that's such a good story. I want to share that. Some of you might remember it. It was maybe last year. But it's about a man named Wade Millard, and he was in Frederick, Maryland. He was a canine police officer on the force, and he was really winding down from that and wanting to leave it. He knew he wanted to continue to serve in some way, but not on the police force. He wanted to find some other way. But before he was quite off, nearing the end of his tenure as a police officer, he was called out on a domestic dispute situation, and it was in a homeless camp in his area. It was a domestic dispute in this a tent in this homeless camp. And he went there, he responded to the call, and after settling things down with the couple who was having the dispute, he was walking around the camp, and he heard a voice, he said, like out of nowhere, saying, ask them about their laundry. It's an odd thing to hear. He says it was the voice of God. It was very clear to him, didn't need to be repeated. Ask them about their laundry. So he did, and the folks said, in the creek. It's where they did their laundry. And he realized, this is something they don't have. And this is something I could do. And so he started a kind of a new little free business. What did he call it? Fresh Step Laundry. And he fitted out a bus with a washer and dryer and folding table and drove it around looking for folks who'd like to have their laundry done. It's about a year and a half later, at this point, he does dozens of loads of laundry every week now out of his Fresh Step Laundry bus. And it's just, the homeless guys and people who are getting their clothes washed, it's just tremendous impact. If you're clean, if you just feel better, you feel like more proud of yourself. Yeah. And he said, well, that's the thing. You're doing it to maybe give them a little boost. That's a sweet thing. That's a sweet thing to do. Harma Hartman in the interview commented on what an unpleasant kind of thing to do, somebody's dirty laundry. Very humble. He said it's kind of like Jesus with a Maytag. But, you know, kind of unpleasant. How many people would want to do that? And Wade said he isn't bothered by the unpleasantness. When you feel a calling like that, there's not a sour smell in the world that can steal your sweet sense of purpose. Isn't that sweet? That is sweet. I really like that. All kinds of callings in this life. You know, people get urges to give in some way, to be kind in some way, to help somebody a little bit in some way. And the impact of that is tremendous for all of us. You know, it's nourishment we need. We need these funny, sweet, beautiful things in our lives. We need delights. We need to be open to that, especially in difficult times where it's seeming like most of the news is bad. We need to remind ourselves it isn't all bad. There's a lot of sweetness out there. Sweetness in our interactions with others, sweetness in our communities, sweetness in the greater world around us. Every little kind word is a sweetness. So I think that's a queer to reflect on maybe this week. That in this very moment, despite whatever situation, whatever dire news, whatever worries or fears we might have, where is the sweetness in your life? Where is the sweetness in your life? Is it from those you know and love? Is it from your friends? Is it from your communities? Is it from some spiritual teachings you're soaking up? Wherever it is, we can learn to see it better and to soak it up more. Every little thing, every little flower that blooms, you know, every tiny thing around us in nature can be a source of sweetness for us that's really nourishing. Amen? Let's take that into prayer for a moment. Firm that intention within to be wide open to the sweetness of life all around us, to take that in, to not let ourselves be overwhelmed by the cultural news, the political news of the day, but to be wide open to God's nourishment through loving kindness, through sweetness in the world around us, through those we know, in nature, in the communities we are a part of. How grateful we are to know that God's love infuses all of that. We are never separate from or disconnected from the love of God, and it shines all around us if we are open to it. So we are open, and we are ready to receive, and we are grateful. So it is. Amen. All right, we got another song. Got another song. James Taylor's song, goes back a ways. Kind of seemed fitting. So I hope you'll join us on the choruses. You will all know it. Okay.
You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing can lead to another, it doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother and sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. And what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone. Won't you tell somebody the way that you feel? You can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. shine if you only will. If you only will, shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will.
Yeah, good singing out there. All right. Debbie Conkle is our host today. She's going to share some thank yous and announcements. Thank you, Debbie.
Well, thank you for that song. That's one of my favorites. So we'd like to pass along the thank yous, as Joanne mentioned. First of all, many thanks to Reverend Joanne for her message about sweetness and kindness today. It reminded me what, small and large gestures can do. So thank you very much. And many thanks to Joe and Joanne for the great music. Excellent. Excellent job. And of course, we want to thank Mike for helping handle the AV in-house and the streaming online. So thank you. And we're always grateful for the kind folks who prepared the lovely refreshments that we'll soon be enjoying. I believe today that's Candy and Val. So thank you very much. And of course, a warm thank you to everyone for your tithes and donations that keep our ministry going, whether via PayPal, checks in the mail, or the donate tab on our website, unitydelawareohio.org. We are grateful. So here's the announcements recap. Next Sunday, August 2nd, Lisa Ferraro of Soul Call Global Ministries will be speaking and singing at our morning service. After a break for refreshments, she will facilitate a meditation workshop titled The Art of Remembrance. It is on a donation basis like all our classes and workshops. So that's next Sunday, August the 2nd. So are there any other announcements today from anybody? No? If not, well, let's circle up for the peace song. Oh, wait, we do have one announcement.
Special day.
Oh, that's right. It's,
I'm sorry.
end of June. Yeah, you had me thinking there. Okay, no. Almost special day. So, that's right. So, circle up, please.
There'll be Twinkies back there after the service.
Merritt Island. Oh, it's called Merritt Island. Yeah. It's nice, yeah, I enjoyed it.
I'd like to know sweetness because I remember
I'm sorry, my name is Cindy.
Linda, one of our Linda's. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you just job, I supper.